Hey everyone, welcome to the Poke Office. My name is Colin. Really excited today to have Brian from Poke NE. I found him, I don't know, I want to say like 6 to 9 months ago in that range. And you have this like crazy viral video on YouTube selling $350,000 a month in Pokemon, our entire story. And me being the entrepreneur, like YouTuber, Pokemoner, and I'm like, okay, I got to watch this. And the video is like legit epic. And I've been watching you ever since. So welcome here. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate the love. I liked
Yeah.
that video too, but thank you for having me. I love doing interviews, so I appreciated you reaching out, man.
Sweet. So like, how do you even start a Pokemon business?
Well, we started ours just by flipping one single item. I did eBay like full time for a bit, and then I had to get a real job because the mortgage company didn't consider eBay a real job, so I had to buy a house
Fair.
somehow.
Fair.
Then I went back to eBay and I found this promo card, Charizard Grand Prix Illustrator card, and Japanese folks were selling them by the hundreds. And you could, if you bought like 100 cards in a lot, you could buy them for like $12 each if you bought them in bulk. And in the US, they were selling for $20 each. So I said, oh,
Okay.
this is cool. So I laid down I don't know, like a grand or so, and I just started flipping those. And one thing led to another, and then we're selling, other promo cards and booster boxes and packs. And you don't need capital, really. You don't need a lot of money. It just kind of start with one thing and you expand out.
All right. Dang. That's really surprising because like I was watching an interview with you preparing for this interview and you're talking about like dropping hundreds of G's on cards. But like I get that it's not like you didn't do that right off the bat, but my auto instinct is to like, okay, he owns a Pokemon shop. He must have had huge capital going in, but clearly you didn't, which is pretty sweet.
So yeah, well, so the funny thing is, yeah, you don't need a lot of capital going in, but having a lot of buying power will get you places. And what I mean by that is credit. And I don't mean to get some venture capitalist or don't borrow money from your mom or your friend. I use the credit card company's money. So after the Grand Prix Charizard deal, we had some money from eBay, but like we just bought a house. We were like pretty broke. I just found Shiny Star V was like a very quick seller in our store. So once I had a little bit of momentum, I just threw down like 8 grand on a credit card, bought as many as I could, and I figured, as long as I pay the credit card debt back within a month, that's a free interest. It's an interest-free loan. So I had like 8 to 10 grand of capital. It just wasn't
Yeah,
mine at the time. So, take that for how you will.
fair enough. I mean, I like the moxie.
Yeah, yeah, it was a little ballsy. My wife wasn't exactly happy with the move, but it worked out in the end.
So what did you do in that first month? Like were you just grinding?
That first month we crushed it. I
Did you?
look back, oh, it was insane. I look back at my TikToks and number one, like side note here, if you guys want to start a business, document everything because you'll look back and either make fun of yourself or go, how the hell did I do it? Our first month in business, we did like $20,000 in sales, which is
Dude,
bananas. And it's
that's
it's
wild.
because yeah, it's nuts. It's Shiny Star V and it was the Grand Prix Charizard and it was timing, it was the Logan Paul era.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first month was nuts. And it was just credit card churning is all it was.
That's insane. Like
Mhm.
I'm trying to think through that without like having this awkward long pause of silence, but like how do you even process that? You go from like literally you were buying a couple single cards, flipping them for maybe $8 in profit, and now you
Yeah.
just made $20,000 in sales. That's really insane, actually.
It was nuts. TikTok was a big thing. If you want a quick 5 second tutorial on how we did it, we got a bunch of customers from the Charizard cards, and we kind of blew up on TikTok a little bit, just making viral videos with those Charizard cards. I just flooded the feed, and nobody cared. You can post 50 times a day, no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
And then with the Shiny Star V thing, I leveraged credit card debt, but I also leveraged pre-order debt. So I went on TikTok, hey guys, Shiny Star V ships in 10 days from America. And at the time, shipping Japanese cards from the US was a new thing.
Mhm.
People did it, but I was early on relatively. So people are like, "Oh God, an American's selling these. This is great. I'll wait 10 days for an American shop." And then
Yeah.
they pre-ordered it. I took their money, and then I went to Japan and said, "Hey, I got, $5,000 of pre-orders. Here's the money." Took the Shiny Star V. shipped it to the customer, and that's all I did. I just kind of churned and burned the money, and then
Mhm.
eventually I had like real money. But I just used other people's money for the longest time. It was great.
Yeah,
I
that's
still do
sweet.
it.
Yeah, well, I mean, why wouldn't you really?
Yeah, it was
Especially now
free
that you
money.
have kind of the reputation, like people know that you're not a scammer, people know that you ship out good products and whatnot. So that's pretty cool.
Helpful.
So do you think that it was like, was it calculated or did you kind of luck into it a little bit?
I think there were elements that were calculated. The virality on TikTok was, I would say, calculated, because even though virality is a little bit luck based, there's ways to encourage it. And honestly, it sounds very unprofessional, but just spam the hell out of the feed because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Uh, the Phoenix Resale, he's like he does like resale content, eBay, video game content on YouTube. He's got like 400,000 subs. He knows what he's talking about.
Mhm.
He told me, he's like, Brian, you could post the same exact video, copy and paste it 20 times in one day. And TikTok is so big, even in a niche like gaming, the chances of the same person seeing your video twice are slim to none.
That's wild.
And it is, because I never got a single I was posting 12 to 15 videos per day. I didn't get a single comment that was like, dude, shut up. I've seen this 50 times. Not a single complaint. So calculated, I mean, I'd call that calculated.
Yeah,
I
I'd
didn't think
say,
it would
yeah.
blow up that quick, but I don't know. There's so many YouTubers that are like, oh, post once a week, or get a schedule going. That's when you're famous already. That's when you're already got a ton of followers and like they know who you are. If you post once a day and you're a nobody, even if you're like me, I got 17,000 subs, big deal. If I
Yeah.
post once a day, that's what, 52, probably like 45 times a year, like holidays and days off and whatnot. Okay, 45 opportunities to be found. That's stupid. Post 10 times a day.
Yeah.
10 times, you know, 300, say, because you're going to get some days off. It's way bigger. So yeah, it's calculated. It's just like, yeah, throw it up there and something will happen.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that too because like this is the first YouTube channel I've done. But my mom and sister run an online company as well. They do some weight loss stuff.
Uh,
And they've been grinding for a long time and have never really got there. Like actually just recently they've started kind of growing in YouTube, even though like the whole goal wasn't to make sales necessarily, or sorry, to grow the YouTube channel. It was to make sales. So it
mhm.
was more of like a niche finder, finding the customers through YouTube rather than like trying to explode the channel. But like if they post one video a week or two videos a week, the second video a week gives them 52 extra chances to get those eyeballs. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
So
100%.
that's what I always think too. And that's actually like really good advice for me because early on in the channel, like growing from 0 to 100 subscribers, 100 to 1,000 subscribers, I was grinding so hard, like posting 2 shorts a day, posting my 3 long form videos a week, and like just I couldn't miss. And now it's like, oh yeah, I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. Like you said, who freaking cares? That's not that that's not that good. And I don't post
Yeah.
shorts all the time anymore. Like so,
Shorts are good and bad. I mean, it depends on the shorts. Like, I purposely don't try to make viral content on shorts because that's how you get these people that have like 60, 70, 80,000 subscribers, and their videos get less views than mine.
yeah.
So I I have a little bit of a formula where like I know what goes viral to an extent because I did it on TikTok back in the early days. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, if if you want to do shorts on your channel, like, don't try to go viral. Just do the stuff you do now and gather, a couple dozen subscribers a week, because I mean, you these like the trade up challenges, those were super trendy for a while.
Yeah, for
Like, if
sure.
you made a trade up challenge video, whether it was fake or real or whatever, that could get like 1 million views. Here's the problem. Your face isn't in it. No one knows your voice. It doesn't support your brand. It does nothing for you. The only thing people are subscribing for is because they think it's entertaining. They're not gonna know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Every trade up challenge video, every viral flexing, whatever videos, it doesn't do anything for your brand. So I don't want to do that content.
Yeah, it
Stupid.
makes sense. And I'd reckon actually if they subscribe to you, it's actually hurting your brand because now YouTube's seeing, hey, you
Mm-hmm.
have these 10,000 subscribers that don't watch your content.
130 million
Yeah.
percent. Yeah.
So That makes sense. So what year did you start your actual business, Pokemon?
So it was January 2021 is when we got the LLC, and our first sale was around that time. I got the LLC like right away, which I wouldn't suggest, but that's what I did.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so that's like I'm trying to remember. That's right in the heart of COVID, right? Is that the
Yeah,
thing? Okay.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's about right. It was a
Yeah,
weird time.
I know. It's hard to remember actually. So that's like I want to say that's a bit over a year before I kind of got back into Pokemon myself.
Okay.
So you mentioned something like Japanese US sellers weren't selling Japanese very much. That was kind of like a new niche.
As far as I know, I'm probably gonna get some flack for making that claim, but there there certainly wasn't a lot of competition. I mean, the fact that I in my little basement and my like ghetto hairdo, the fact that I could blow up so quickly tells me there must not have been a lot of competition because if there was, they would have bought from them. So yeah, I was early.
And I remember watching one of your videos and you were like, I literally just kept messaging people on Instagram and Japanese sellers and whatnot until I found someone who would supply me. Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, no, it's 100% real, and I'm absolutely baffled that other people don't do it because it's free to DM people. Like, type. I'm gonna tell you my formula. Go to Instagram, like literally go there right now.
Yeah.
People
All
watching.
right. I'm gonna do it too.
If you type in like hashtag Japanese Pokemon cards, hashtag Japanese Pokemon TCG, and you'll find Japanese people that are selling the stuff. Just DM all of them. Period. End of story. And there's certain qualities you want to look for. If it's just like a random Japanese fan of Pokemon, you'll see, oh, they got a picture of a cute Charizard card, whatever. You want to find the people that have like pictures of booster boxes like stacked up high, like in my basement. Like the people
Yeah.
that probably are getting it from somewhere relatively valid. You'll see them. I mean, it's all over the feed. Like I could go on there right now and probably find 12 people worth DMing.
236,000 posts to search through just on the one hashtag I searched.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, just scroll through there. If there's a bunch of pictures of booster boxes, you hit them up, make a DM, copy and paste it to 50 other people. Literally all I did. I could find a new supplier literally right now. And you start with PayPal, make sure they're trustworthy, obviously, but I could literally find a new supplier right now, live on camera, and it'd be easy.
I'm making some assumptions here probably, but I feel like the difference maker is that you're willing to just grind it out. Like so many people stop short. And I was actually interviewing another guy on my channel earlier today as we're recording this. And I was like, anyone ever who asked me about YouTube, not that I'm an expert, like 10,000 doesn't make me an expert whatsoever, but it's consistency. Like
Yeah,
you grind, you go hard. I do my live streams, and the very next hour, I'm trying to sell some of the bulk cards that I pulled to get that extra little bit of profit to keep me going,
that's the
or
grind.
like, like I'm at it. I'm at work at lunchtime. I'm coming up with video ideas for my YouTube channel. I'm doing like the spreadsheets and stuff to keep track of my inventory. Like everything's a grind, and you just got to keep going. I'm not feeling good one day. I'm still gonna do a video.
A million
So,
percent. And
yeah.
I mean, you couldn't be more right. The funny thing is, the number one question I get is, how do you find a supplier? And that's not even a grind. I mean, unless you consider copying and pasting a DM a few times per hour a grind, it's like you a lot of these folks, they don't even get to step 0. It's just bananas to me. I mean, if you don't want to start a business, great, but
Yeah.
like, why are you even asking? Just DM some people. It takes more work to DM me because I'm probably gonna ignore you than like the Japanese people. They won't ignore you. They want your money. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ignore you half the time. So it's not even a grind for that step. It's just like just get started. You're talking about something like you're going hard. They can't even get there.
Yeah. But I
Bonkers.
mean, that's why like you just got to grab life by the horns, and just like
Yeah.
just take it. It's yours for the taking. I
If
think
you
is
want it, absolutely. And some
yeah.
people, they might not want it. That's cool too.
So speaking about the grind, I feel like the day in the life of pokene.com is a grind. Like, are you actually just in your basement for hours upon hours per day boxing up Pokemon cards?
I was for a bit. the first 2 years it was unhealthy for sure. Like I always tell people to go to my early TikTok videos because I look well. So right now I get a lot of compliments that I'm all muscular now. So I go to the gym. Very flattering. I weigh 155 pounds right now. So 2 years ago, when I was grinding all day, I was like at 137 pounds. So someone my size should not fluctuate 15 to 20 pounds. That shows how little I ate, how little I got out. Like I looked like I was like sick. So yeah, the grind was bad. I mean, probably 16-hour days. Sometimes I just slept in the basement because I didn't want to like wake my wife up at 5, 6, 7 in the morning. It's 16-hour days, like for a
Dang.
year and a half. Now it depends. If there's a new release, I'm like down here all day, like preparing for it. Like, Twilight Masquerade will come out soon.
Yeah.
But I've got a lot more freedom. If I need to build up capital and I want to really market my brand, I can grind 16 hours a day without even getting tired. But on my day to day, I mean, I go to the gym, I see friends. Like my day in the life has gotten a lot more chill, but it took 2.5+ years of absolute torment to get here. So was it worth it? It depends. I don't know. I think so.
I mean, you have a pretty slick business now.
Yeah, now I do. It was rough though. I mean, like when you ignore family and friends for 2+ years and like your own health for two plus like you could really F your life up. There are 3 people in my industry that I can name right now that I'm not going to name that are divorced because of this industry, in large part, probably. And I see how it happens. I really do because I was a horrible friend, a horrible husband. I was a bad person for like 2.5 years. 2 years.
Hmm.
Yeah, 2 years. So worked out.
Yeah. Crazy. You have some employees now?
I do like part-time people. My cousin Abby, she works like 1 to 2 days a week. Bryce, kid I met at the gym, he works 2-ish times a week, and then my brother-in-law is here like 2 to 3 times a week. Altogether, I mean, I don't know, probably like 40 hours a week, like combined, which is all I really need to just kind of feel a little more chill.
Yeah, for sure. I know that feeling for sure. Like it's kind of been over the last year or so a choice. Like, do I work on my YouTube channel? Do I take my health into consideration? I've
Yep.
ordered a couple too many pizzas and, like grinding down here in the office for a couple hours before bed rather than getting some push-ups in or going out for a walk with my wife. Like I know the feeling for sure. So it's
Yeah.
not quite to the extent of 16-hour days, but yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. I was a full-time realtor too. So that didn't help either. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest it to most people. I mean, you could get very, very successful in business not doing that. It's just if you want to do it as quickly as I did, I mean, you
Mhm.
kind of have to. I wouldn't suggest it. It's not probably not worth it to most people.
Yeah. Huh. So flipping the switch, I want to talk about some Pokemon investing.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite topic on
I know,
YouTube.
right? Seriously, put Pokemon investing in my thumbnail and in the title. I get more views immediately. That's just the thing.
Yeah, it's the perfect bait for the eyes. I love it.
Yeah. So like right now, I live in Canada, so I'll try and convert to USD, but I might get a little hazy. Temporal Forces, latest English set, and I'm buying it for 145 Canadian, which I'd reckon is like 105 US ish,
That's the market price
105,
here, about
110,
105,
something like that.
110. Yeah.
And that's like taxes in. That's and then I pay $30 for shipping for
Okay.
2 cases of it. So it's like the wholesale price on that at the distributors that I know of is 132 Canadian. So like
Let's convert that 132. I just want to see 132 Canadian to USD. 97 USD. Yeah, a lot of distros it's like closer to 92 USD, so
okay.
pretty damn close, yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
125 Canadian.
it's like this guy that I buy from, he's not making very much money off of me.
He's probably losing money when it comes to processing fees and whatnot.
Like, well, I e-transfer him, so I or I
Oh,
just direct give him the money.
yeah, he's definitely not
But
making money though.
no, it's like that's a that's a grind in and of itself. Like you got to be turning and burning like through $500,000 worth of product every month to make ends meet, basically. Like I didn't actually do the math, but it sure feels like it.
Yeah, you don't make much on English right now, even if you have a distributor. It's a weird time.
So, like, how do you feel like that about like this is your business? Like, what's next? How do we move forward from this? Like, do you actually think that there's a time where you're gonna sell for MSRP?
I don't see it really going to MSRP, but I do see a likely nearish future where like 120, 125 USD compared to 105, 110 USD is realistic. I think right now we're just kind of in a grind time, and this is to me the most important time to be in the Pokemon business because a lot of folks like your buddy, they're not making money. I'm not making a lot of money on English.
Mm-hmm.
If we can stay the course and we still buy from our distributors and we still keep that contract alive, then when we do get to a point where this English stuff sells for more, our distributors will go, "Hey, Brian supported us in the worst of times. We're gonna bless him now." And then it's like money machine go burr.
Yeah.
So I look at kind of honestly just staying in business. That's almost an investment in it of itself
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just pouring money into Southern Hobby and Peach State Distributing, and I think it's going to pay off. I really do, but you have to have something to what's the word? You have to have something to kind of pad yourself. So for me, I got Japanese and Korean stuff. For a lot of game stores, they sell video games or board games or other TCG. If you don't have something to pad yourself and you're only doing English booster boxes,
Yeah.
it's just not possible unless you have another job. So luckily, I've got some padding.
Gotcha. Just as a side note, don't have the paid version of Zoom, so there's a 9-minute timer on us. But
Haha,
I'll just start it again and click record again if we get cut off.
that sounds good to me.
Okay. Where were we? Japanese stuff. So
Japanese.
is Japanese like actually like the markup is better for you? You're making money on that?
Oh yeah, Japanese margins are great. The risk with Japanese is the volatility of it all. So there's some arguments where, if you think the market's really good, you think things are looking nice, you might want to buy a large quantity of it because in the past prices have shot up. Well, now the folks that bought large quantities of say shiny treasures, like I laid down 100 grand and bought like a 2,000 box, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I didn't sell that pretty quickly, then now the price of shiny treasures dropped like another 15% out. I'd have been screwed. So you can't go too crazy, you can't get lost in the sauce, but as long as you buy say 200 boxes and sell 200 boxes within a week's time, which is kind of what we're doing, the margins are great. And I think the fact that everything's cheaper now, the margins are better because like if something's expensive and you tack on a 15% upcharge, the margin's kind of meh, and you're only going
Yeah.
to sell maybe one box to one person. Now, if a box is super cheap, like Crimson Haze, you can charge a higher upcharge, and no one's going to care. Sorry, my dog's going crazy.
That's all good.
And people will probably buy 2 or 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So honestly, the lower the price, the lower the market price, way better margins, way better profit.
Makes
As
sense.
long as you didn't go crazy in the beginning and buy cases and cases of it just for the price to go lower. So it's a balancing act. It really is.
Yeah. Like what do you have Crimson Haze at? I think I looked on your site like 41.99 or something like that.
Crimson Haze, I think it's like $50 USD
Okay.
right now. We're gonna be able to lower it pretty soon though, which is nice. And then like Shiny Treasures, it's like 44 USD. And so with my uh, average order cost at like $250, that's like the average sale we have.
Yeah.
Well, people can throw, 5, 6, 7 boxes in an order, and I'm making more per box than I ever have before. So a lot of people are worried about me in this market, but it's like
Yeah,
it's
and
better
that's
than
actually
ever.
the best thing ever. That's
Yeah,
sweet.
that's great.
Cool. That's awesome. Um, do you know why Japanese has taken such a hit?
I think there's a few factors. So I learned just a few releases ago that Japan's actually in this huge like economic crisis. They went from like the third most powerful economic superpower to the fourth.
I had
Sorry,
no idea. The
I
360 camera is moving.
yeah, I was like, I waved my hand, so it activated it. So yeah, I think Germany took them over apparently, and they're just in like everyone talks about America because we think we're the most popular country out there, and it seems like all the YouTubers only talk about the Americans, the state of the U.S. economy, and a lot of YouTubers kind of disregard the other countries, and that's why I didn't even know about it myself. Well, turns out Japan, they got a lot of crap going on. So that's affecting it. It's also tax season in Japan, just like it is in the US.
Hmm.
So a lot of the Japanese suppliers, they're just like me. They need capital, they need cash to pay the government. So they're more apt to sell stuff at a cheaper price, get the cash, and then pay it off. And when you have, my supplier, she does like a million USD a month in sales. She's huge. So
Dang.
you've got people like her, and then say there's 20 people like her, and then 60 people more at my level, a smaller level. They all have to pay the government. They're all willing to let stuff go for cheaper because their cash base, the cash basis is so freaking low on the stuff that we in America and Canada see it as a crash, but in reality, they're still making ass loads of money. Because think about it, the MSRP on a box is like 40 USD, right? That's how much the Japanese people are paying.
Yeah.
We were several sets ago, the US market was like 75 USD.
Yeah.
Now the US market's like 50 USD. So everyone's going, "Oh, Japan's dying." Guys, they're still making like 25% per box selling it to the US. Before they were like quadrupling their money, now they're still making a margin way bigger than I make.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. They're just like, "Oh, our cash basis is low. We can churn and burn this stuff just like I do." So a lot of it's just human behavior. I could see it shooting back up just as easily as it shot back down, but greed was a lot of the reason it was super high, and people
Yeah.
realized that volume beats greed anyway.
Well, it seems like I want to say like 6 months after I got back in, so like early 2023, this like the Japanese stuff just went absolutely wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe like even
2023
just a
was
little bit
nuts.
before 151 came out. It was
Yeah,
expensive because we had like
super
what
expensive.
V Star Universe was pretty expensive, and then there's a few
Like
more sets in between there.
Triplet Beat was really bad on release. Clay Burst was horrible on release. The sets with like the popular waifu cards,
Yeah,
even Ruler of the Black Flame, which one of the cheaper sets now, that
I
was
got
super
worked on that one,
expensive.
man. I got worked on that.
Yeah, we got hit pretty hard on that one too early on.
Yeah.
That was kind of when things started turning a little bit, was that set, and like Raging Surf, same thing. I don't know why everything was as expensive as it was.
Hmm.
I guess because Japan could get away with it. A lot
Yeah.
of it was, a full art trainer would come out, and I think there was a lot of corruption and manipulation on the Japanese side. Like they would take the Iono card, for example, and they basically sell it to other card shops, and they'd, just like people in the US are doing on TCG Player right now, they'd be like, "Oh, this Iono card's worth 700 USD." So then the box goes up in price, and then at that point, the Japanese folks, they're 5, 6, 7xing their money on the box. So even when it drops to half of that, they're still making 2 to 3 to 4x on a box. It was just arbitrary pricing, essentially controlled by some big players over there getting together, choosing arbitrary prices on singles, and then us American suckers fell for it. And now, for whatever reason, we woke up and now we're not falling for it as hard, but we'll see. I think it's going to get bad again.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Not necessarily like tomorrow,
Yeah.
but I could see it going back up to like 70 USD per box, pretty easily. I think 151, it reprints in May. Right now it's
Yeah.
pretty cheap. That's going to go back up to like 175 a box
Oh,
after this reprint's over. These are
the
just like
last time
my
I bought some
opinion.
of that, I paid 265 Canadian. So like
Ooh,
and that's as cheap as I could find it. Like it was just wild how expensive that was.
yeah,
But
how much? I got my little converter over here too.
yeah,
Yeah, 195 USD.
yeah,
That's about right. I think it'll go back up to that because this will probably be the last reprint, or it'll at least be the last perceived reprint. So then people will panic and they'll buy it and it'll shoot up to 185 again. It's just
Well, we're
how
seeing
people
that
always
right now.
operate.
Like Astral Radiance just sold out on Pokemon Center. And
Oh,
now
so people are freaking out now.
not only is Astral Radiance like completely the day it sold out on Pokemon Center, everyone of the sellers on TCG Player took their booster boxes off and resubmitted at a higher price. But not only just for Astral Radiance, now everyone, like in the last, what, 2 months, Fusion Strike sold out, Astral Radiance sold out, and now there's Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest left.
Yup.
So it's like everyone's buying, that's going to sell out right away, too, in my opinion, unless I'm misreading it totally, just because people are FOMOing out so much on it. It's like, oh no, I can't miss the boat yet again. And it's like
That's how it
there's
works.
probably still thousands of booster boxes at Pokemon Center, but people are going crazy over it just because.
That's a tale as old as time. I mean, that's how it always is. And
Yeah.
yeah, everyone asks me if I invest, and I'm like, no, but now I've got the capital where I'm not going to sell this English stuff for the market price because it's like you're giving it away. Like we talked about earlier, people aren't even making money on this stuff. So you better believe I got a whole freaking shelf of Silver Tempest and Lost Origin waiting
Nice.
for the day people start panicking.
All right, so we're back. Classic me being a cheap ass, not paying for the Zoom upgrade. So the
I
timer
like
hit,
it.
and then we had to wait 8 minutes. Classic. So
That's the
we had,
hustle, man. You got to save that capital.
yeah, exactly. So we had just go ahead.
Oh, so I was
Oh,
turning
the
the whole camera thing's actually kind of a pain in the ass. I needed to like
yeah,
just disable that feature.
fair enough.
We're good now.
Me being a teacher, you raised your hand. I was like, yeah, what's up?
I saw that immediate. I was like, oh god, I did the thing.
uh,
I was asking the camera question,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we're Gucci now. We're good.
love it. So before the break, we ended off you saying you have a butt ton of Lost Origin and Silver Tempest on the shelf, just waiting for the day that it reaches like a couple extra bucks more than market.
Yeah, I think so. Waiting for the day where you can charge over MSRP without getting canceled, which in the Pokemon community seems like a very arbitrary amount of time.
Yeah,
So I'll hold on to it till like each box is worth like 200 bucks, like Fusion Strike or Chilling Rain or something.
yeah. I don't know. Like, do you pay attention to the markets at all, or not? Not a ton.
Not very hard. There's a lot of folks that are like, "Hey, so are you? I see you're investing in English now. You got a whole section." I'm like, "Well, not really. I mean, I'd be happy to sell the English today, which isn't an investment if you're willing to sell it today. I'm just not going to sell it for $105 a box
Yeah,
when I'm buying them for like 92. So I've got them on the website, but I have smaller quantities on the site than I have in real life.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm just, I got a bunch of them back here. And when the ones on my website sell, I'm keeping the rest of them till it goes up. I don't like look them up on TCG Player every freaking week or even every month. I just know, 6 months to a year, I'll look into whatever's back there. Aldea evolved. I'll Google it, see what's going on.
yeah. Two questions from that. So I'll ask the first one, and hopefully I'll remember the second one. Like, do you keep like how does it work with your website? Do you update the prices normally, or like with this new Japanese drop in price, for instance? Like, did you have to go manually update all your pricing? Is
Yeah, I'm not fancy. I don't have a repricer app. I don't even know how that would work with all the weirdness of the Pokemon market. So I go in there, update it manually. Usually I update it based on how many I have on the way and based on how much it would cost per box to replace the inventory. So
yeah,
if I have say I've got 10 boxes of EV Heroes and I'm in at $400 a box and I'm selling them for 420 a box, just for example.
yeah,
Well, if I can get more for $20 less in 2 days, because that's how quickly they ship it from Japan, well, then I'll be willing to lower the price on the ones I have here, knowing that I can buy more to replace that inventory and hopefully churn more in the long run. On the other hand, if I've got 10 boxes of EV Heroes where I can make 20 bucks a box, and I talk to Japan and I go, hey, I'm going to need a restock on EV Heroes pretty soon. And they tell me, oh, we rose the price $10. Well, then I'm going to change my price to go up $10 because it doesn't make sense to sell something for X amount just to buy it for X plus one. And it's stupid. So
yeah.
I'm
I actually went through
constantly,
that. Like, I want to say Intemporal Forces. No, sorry.
Hmm.
Fusion Strike. I was just trying to buy a couple boxes of Fusion Strike as they've gone out of stock, and I found a guy who I buy from fairly regularly here in Canada, and he had them for 230 on his site, and I was like, I want to buy you out of that because they're
Hmm.
already 300 Canadian. And he's like, "Oh crap. I didn't realize the distributor raised their prices up to 280 Canadian. So I'm
Hmm.
not selling them to you." I was like, "Dang it." Like, come on.
That sucks, man. See, you can't if it's on your website, you gotta sell it. I mean, not legally, but like you just gotta do it. I've lost my biggest blunder was early on. This is when like it almost ended my freaking company. I'm not even kidding. We had Champions Road, which is the Japanese Champions Path.
Yeah.
And what did I do? I think the market price at the time was like, I don't know, 80 USD, which is wild. And I, for some reason, had it for like 30 USD.
Ooh.
And they bought out 20 boxes, and this was really early on. So I could have just canceled the orders, but I had to ship them. So I lost a lot of money there. So
Dang.
your boy should have hooked you up. What I'm saying.
You're a good dude for sending out 20 boxes at a loss.
I got someone talked about it on Reddit, so a lot of people were like, "Yeah, he's a good guy," and then I probably ended up netting after it. But you got to do it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think people respect the fact that like you're a legit business owner and you make mistakes and but you own up to it. Like you took your humble pie and you're probably better for it now,
Yeah,
even
I
though
learned
humble
my
pie
lesson.
sucks so bad.
Oh yeah, it sucked, but it
Yeah.
definitely teaches you like you were asking, how do you reprice items? Well, now I know. I look at my website freaking every day, and just to make sure that mistake doesn't happen again, because now I've got hundreds of boxes of some stuff. So if you make one teeny mistake, you'd be
Yeah.
effed.
That's like literally taking away your 2.5 years of work in one day.
It could, yeah. Like I mean, if I priced, I got like 800 boxes of shiny treasure. If I somehow accidentally priced those at like $10, they'd all sell in one day because why the hell wouldn't they? And I'd have to ship
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah.
I'd
Oof.
lose it all. I'd have
Oof.
to. There's nothing I wouldn't cancel them. I'd have to ship it out.
Yeah. I mean, your reputation's on the line for sure.
Yeah, well, you gotta look at it like long term wise. But yeah. So hopefully I don't make a mistake, and everybody's gonna be
Yeah.
checking. Everybody's gonna be checking my
Yeah.
website now. Like,
Everyone
oh,
go
is
to
he gonna do it?
pokene.com right
That's
now.
right. Buy me out. Buy me out of my $10 shiny treasures.
But seriously, go to pokene.com right now because this guy's legit.
Buy my stuff. Thanks.
Yeah. Um, okay. I gotta look at my notes because I don't want this to be like a 2 hour video, I don't think. I mean, it could be,
a,
but
a lot of my interviews turn into 2-hour videos. I talk a lot, so what
I'm
are you gonna
okay with
do?
it. But it is getting late as we're recording this, and I got work tomorrow, so I'm,
Fair,
I'm
fair.
already gonna be hating life. It's all good.
You said you're a teacher, so you need your sleep for that job.
And I'm just like a bit of a whiny baby. I need my rest.
Fair, valid.
Um, so you started the business. You didn't have your YouTube channel yet, right? When you started, you were just doing TikTok. Is that
Yeah, we just did TikTok.
okay? So then you get into YouTube. What was your end goal with YouTube, or like your starting goal with YouTube?
So the starting goal was just listening to a lot of like Gary Vee videos, like post everywhere. And so I
Yeah.
started the YouTube channel pretty early on, but I never like considered myself a YouTube creator. All I did was I exported the TikTok videos and I throw them on YouTube. So like long form videos with vertical, like I didn't focus on YouTube at all for the
Yeah.
first 2+ years. I started like making YouTube content just a few months ago. August 2023 is when I started kind of trying on YouTube.
Okay.
And now it's April and it blew up pretty quick, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It's awesome. Have you
It's been
seen
fun.
like a direct result of people watch my YouTube videos? They go to pokene.com and then they buy stuff.
Yeah, you can't go one-to-one sales. You'll never know like the true ROI, but the amount of there's like a little, promo code section on the site and then a
Yeah.
notes like you can say, "Hi, Brian, thanks for content." A lot of folks write me cute little notes regarding my content, so I'm like, "Oh,
Okay.
they came from YouTube." I also have a YouTube promo code that I hide in a lot of my videos just to kind of test if people are watching.
Yeah.
I've got a promo code on my YouTube page, so I can kind of get an idea on how many people probably watched a video. And if you guys want some business 101 in this video, if you do make YouTube content and you have a website, post a promo code in a video and put an expiration date, because otherwise, like, you might be getting this promo code used 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And just put, just to make sure people are watching. Like 3 minutes into my vlog, I'll put like promo code Caterpie to save $10 on any order. Expires in 1 week after upload date, and I'll just hide that on the bottom. And then based on how many people use that code, I kind of have more of an idea. You'll never know one to one, but
Yeah.
it's definitely propelled our store, and it's attracted a lot of business folks, like people that want to start their own Pokemon business, or LGS owners or streamers a lot of times.
Okay.
So those people, they buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
One of our big streamers, he spent 24 grand on one order 3 or 4 days ago. He's not from YouTube, granted, but he found us on Instagram. So hey, that's content too.
Sweet.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, so what's your like? Is that your end goal with YouTube? Do you want to be like a business owner slash like creator who's like that's like an alternative business for you, or is it just to continue driving sales?
I was never really intended to drive sales per se. It was just kind of like I was bored. I like YouTube. I had like 15 years ago, I was posting guitar videos on YouTube. I was posting
Could
I
have been
can't
the
say the
next Mr.
word.
Beast.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, started humble. I had a channel I made with my friend where we made weapons on YouTube, like tinfoil and toilet bowl cleaner, and they turn into like bombs. We had that channel that got taken down for violations. I had a freaking ASMR channel, like cutting soap and satis. I had all sorts of channels. And
Okay.
so Pokemon, I was like, you know what? A lot of people ask for business advice. I can give it to people. I'll throw it up on YouTube. And now I'm getting paid by YouTube, which is bananas. I had no idea
Yeah.
they like paid you if you had such a small channel. So at this point, I mean, I'm just gonna keep rocking it. I don't care if it gets me more sales. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And it's a good creative outlet that doesn't cost money, because you need that when you're in your basement, like working most of the day. You need
That
fun.
makes total sense.
Yeah. What about
Like,
you? Like, are you just doing this for fun?
I mean, ultimately, I started it as a business. Like the
Mm,
entrepreneur in me, ever since I was like probably 20 years old, I was in the Canadian military for a few years, and then I did my own thing for a few years, and then I'm a teacher now. And it's like the actual like workforce is not my thing, but it
yeah.
pays the bills right now. So this is like similar thing where it's that creative outlet. Like I'm at work or I'm driving to work or I'm out and about. I'm thinking about Pokemon because I finally found something that I'm like passionate enough about to nerd out a
Nice.
little bit. Whereas like early on in my 20s, it was like, I have no idea what I want to do. I know I don't want to work for a boss. I know I want to do my own thing, but I have no idea. So I'm just like throwing mud at the wall. And same as you, I had YouTube channels about like affiliate marketing and about who knows what,
Yeah.
and podcasts, like all sorts of stuff. I've just tried to find that affiliate or that outlet for myself. But then it's like, I don't know, if I'm not passionate about something, I'm such a quitter.
Yep. I think that's just efficiency.
Yeah. So
Move on if
finally,
you don't
like
like it.
my friend got me opening up. Everyone on my channel knows how I got back into Pokemon. Just like I opened one pack of Evolving Skies and pulled one of the most expensive cards, and I had no idea. And
Nice.
he's like, that's like $150 card. I was like, ooh, I like this.
This is fun.
You know. So
Love it.
uh and then like I always liked Pokemon as a kid, and then got in my teens, and I was way too cool for that. But
Same. I got out of it in my teens.
yeah, so I mean, but then I got back into it, and then everyone knows on my channel too, like I like gambling a little bit. And
Okay. Okay.
that Pokemon like the gambling aspect slash the collection slash watching my money, like watching my collection value grow. And I'm a math guy, so I like looking at numbers anyways. So that's kind of I started watching Danny Phantom, and then I was like, huh, that seems like something that I'd really enjoy to do anyway. So it's kind of just like all collided into one, and now it's like I'll live for it. Like I can't
Yeah.
wait to come home from work so that I can actually get to real work, if that makes sense.
It's cool that all those things can kind of meld together into like one centralized YouTube channel. Like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you learn a lot from it. I mean, if one day you decide you're gonna end the Pokemon side of YouTube, but you want to do some other YouTube, like the amount of stuff you learn from each little genre you start. At one time, I had a reptile YouTube channel. I taught people about reptiles. I had like a whole zoo in my spare bedroom, literally,
Dang.
and I learned so much about like camera angles from doing that because
Yeah.
lizards and stuff. So like you just you gotta create fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all a skill set. And like, it feels like I'm actually like working out my brain rather than just like scrolling endlessly on the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and it's so easy to do that. Like, I can be a fat ass, no problem if I feel like it.
I
And
still find myself doing that sometimes. It's
same,
aggravating.
same. So, yeah, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's been fun. Are you getting does YouTube like pay you yet? Like you
Yeah.
get how's
Um,
your RPM? Because I like in like the Pokemon niche itself, it seems like CPM and RPM are super low unless you are able to trick the algorithm into thinking you're a business, and then it goes about a bit higher, I found.
okay. Let's see. I don't know my CPM off the top of my head, which makes me sound like a total moron because I should know that.
Well, it changes
But
per video. I mean, most of my videos, like a Pokemon only video, like, hey
yeah.
guys, we got new leaks from Twilight. Like that video, a CPM will be like six something, and then my RPM's like 350. But then I'll make a video about like how to build a website for a Pokemon business, and the CPM can get as high as like $20,
Okay.
RPM 11, 12. So I'm personally working to trick the algorithm into going, oh, this is a business channel that
Yeah.
talks about Pokemon instead of a Pokemon channel that talks about business. So that's what I'm working on. But how are
No,
you
makes total
as far
sense.
as?
So my numbers are going to be in Canadian dollars, so take that
Hmm,
into consideration. But right now, last 28 days, it's 19.24, $19.24 CPM.
okay, so yeah, your RPM's like 6, $7 then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
pretty damn good.
last, and then I have like a YouTube membership as well. So
Oh, okay, sure.
trying to get that. I don't know if you've ever watched like a Pokevault stream or a CTR stream where they're opening packs, but the generosity in the Pokemon space is absolutely wild.
I was watching
I,
OKJ Love. I'm like a member of his channel,
yeah,
and there's a dude, I forgot his name, but he dropped 500 USD,
yeah.
and I was like, it
Just
was
as like a super chat, right?
as a super. It was a
Yeah,
300 super chat and then a 200 super chat. The first one was like, "Yo, J Love, you going to card party?" And he's like, "I don't know, man." Drops $300. He's like, "Here's help to pay for a ticket." Drops another 200 like 10 minutes later. I'm
yeah.
just like that's like some OF money. I need to get on this, but I don't have a membership or anything. Is it pretty good for you? Like, how many members do you have?
I think I'm at my height. I was like at like 85. Now that was
Okay.
like I don't know if you've heard the name Chris Klein. He's kind of a
Yeah.
god
Who is that?
in the Pokemon. Like he supports all the YouTubers really who are ripping packs on live, like ripping shit.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, every time Pokevault goes live, Chris Klein gifts at least 50 memberships. Like when
Oh
PokeRev just
my
opened that
God.
first edition base set, he bought 3 packs. He gifted me an Evolving Skies booster box to open last month. Like it just wild stuff.
Homie's balling.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
How
shout out
how
to
do I
Chris
get him?
Klein. Yeah.
Chris
So
Klein, come to my channel, man.
yeah,
I'll
exactly.
give you a deal, bro. That's
Exactly.
nuts.
Yeah. So like when people start gifting, or I'll like say to two of my kind of closer buddies is like, okay, if I pull a special illustration rare, gift a membership.
Hmm.
So we like kind of just starting to get the generosity going. I've had a hard time growing my live stream more than like 40, 50-ish viewers at a time.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
about my number typically when I go live, like
yeah.
randomly.
Yeah.
It's a good collection of people. It's a good little posse.
And like my community is like legitimately amazing. I call it the best community out there because it's just
Nice.
like someone asks a question in Discord, people answer. Like it's just like actually this close knit. It hasn't gotten big to the point of like it feels too big to be intimate.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
There's a magic number. I don't know what it is, but it's you know it when you have it.
Yeah.
And I had that with Twitch back when I streamed full time. And I miss it. It was a good time for sure.
Yeah. Back to the YouTube revenue. So I guess like last month I made, I think in the realm of 850 Canadian dollars. So what's that?
Okay.
600 US ish,
Yeah, we're
something
pretty
like that.
close then. I make between like 600 and 800 a month, depending on how much I upload.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty close. I think it's good money. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's for having fun and just throwing stuff up there. I mean, at the rate we're at, I mean, you 10x your subs, I 10x mine. It's like that's real money. It's like $8,000 a month,
Yeah.
right?
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got nearly 10,000 subs. If you had 100,000 subs, assuming the view count grows ratio with the subs, which like may or may not happen,
Yeah.
8 grand a month. That's nuts.
I mean, heck, $2,000 a month is kind of like that would be the ideal point where I'm at right now, where I could like take a day off of work a week, kind of
Yeah.
actually go at it a little bit. Because right now, like, there's lots of days where I have lots of spare time at work during like a prep block or whatever, and then I'll have some time to do it. But other days, it's like, well, still got to hang out with my wife, still got to spend time with my family, still got to do my job, still got to do all like
Hmm.
clean the house, all the chores. And it's like
Cleaning
two
sucks. It's
oh
such a waste of time. Like that's one of those things where I'm like, I could be making content. Sucks.
okay, let's up the number. I need 3,000 a month so I can pay a housekeeper.
We had a maid for about a year. It was a game changer, honestly. Like I don't know why we stopped because we moved into a new house and we just haven't gotten back to it. But if you can justify it, it's a good hack because like you save, several hours a week cleaning, and then
Yeah.
as long as you're not using that time to like play on TikTok, as long as you're using that time to make content, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
Uh our lady quit and then we moved, so like I'd have to go to someone else and I should look into it, but it's if you have discipline, it's a great arbitrage, honestly.
I think I know why you were a salesman before this. I got
It's
to get
I
you
don't
to
know.
convince my wife.
Well, it was how much it was like $250 a month or something, and they came a couple times a week and they did a great job, way better than I would ever do.
Yeah.
And again, okay, me and we make say $600-700 a month on making YouTube videos. Well, if you've got a house cleaner and you can make two extra videos a week or even one extra video a week, it in theory should pay for the house cleaner.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just the trick is, are you actually going to do it with the time you save, or are you
Yeah.
going to play on your phone while the housekeeper's upstairs and then you netted nothing? That's the trick. That's what people
Yeah,
don't think about.
for sure. And it's so easy. Like, hey, I just gained 2 hours of my time back. But it sure doesn't feel like it because I still went to work or like I still went to the gym or I still went and like, it's so easy to fill your day up with other stuff, even
It
if it's not
is.
TikToking. I'm terrible at this, but I've listened to enough Gary V and all those
Oh yeah,
gurus. It's
I
like
love it.
you got to schedule your time, otherwise it just disappears. And I'm terrible at
Yeah,
it, but
it's a really good way to put it. It
yeah,
it, it does disappear, and I don't know. I've learned that as long as I'm always busy, I'm happy enough with it. Even if I'm not getting done like all my goals, I just have to be doing something. Because if the second I stop doing something, I fall asleep on the couch because I think I'm technically so exhausted, just super
you're
unhealthy.
just running on adrenaline.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. And eventually that'll have to end. But right now, I'm loving it.
Okay. I think we should probably end off pretty quick here, but um, I think I got two more questions for you. You just mentioned goals.
Mhm.
Are you brave enough to share some goals for PokeNE on the Poke
Yeah.
Office?
Yeah, so, tonight, actually, I'm uploading a vlog, which will make a lot more sense with what I'm about to say. My goals have changed quite a bit in the past, like, couple weeks. I'm gonna kinda mellow out, I decided, because at least on, like, the business side and the number side, there's just been some things that have happened as of recent where I'm like, "None of this really matters." As long as like, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska in the US, so if you have a spouse and like, my wife's a teacher, so she brings home like 2,800 dollars a month. I only need to bring home like a grand a month to live in this nice house. Like Omaha's very cheap. And I got so lost in the sauce. Like I need to like chill is my goal. So right now we're doing around 300 USD, 300K USD per month in sales. And for the longest time, I wanted to get to like 4 to 500K a month USD. And I made all these moves to kind of try to, get that going. And now I'm like, you know what? If I sell a quarter million a month, I'm choosing to be happy. I don't need any more than that. There's some life stuff where I'm like, I need to just chill. So I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna make a ton of content. That's a big goal of mine is just have fun on YouTube. I want to get to $2,000 a month revenue from YouTube. Not because I need the money, but because I think it'd just be cool.
Mm.
Because that's like a good number. I mean, we discussed that already. It's like 2 grand a month. That sounds like a real job. I
Yeah.
just think it'd be kind of a cool flex. And then just stay the course. 250 grand a month. Build up inventory in the back. Do things a little more strategic as far as taxes go, where I'm not paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to the government. Like there's strategies involving buying inventory at the end of the year and allocating funds. Like there's strategies where you don't get screwed as much as I got screwed this tax season. So my goals are just to chill and also make my life easier. I'm at a point now where I don't need more money. I'm not trying to buy anything fancy. This is the nicest piece of apparel I own. It was $70, and it's by far the most expensive thing I've ever bought for myself. And otherwise, I shop at Target, and it's great. This is Adidas. This is not Supreme. Like, this is as bougie as I get, and I'm super happy
Okay.
with it because I did some shopping. I don't want anything else. I'm good.
That's a
Done.
sick attitude to have, honestly.
Yeah, it
And
took
it
3 years
like
to get here,
the
but
thing I love about it is that it's not like you're not complacent. You're just choosing to be happy. Like there's a huge
yes,
difference because if you just like lose your like zest for life or your motivation to do things, I think that's like super unhealthy. But the fact that it's like I'm in a really good place right now, I don't need to like grind my life away where I'm actually losing years off of my life. I just
that's a really
I think
good
that's brilliant.
distinction. I
Yeah.
like that. It's not complacent, but that's a good distinction because a lot of people could confuse that as complacency, but no, you nailed it.
You
Yeah,
don't strike me as complacent whatsoever because you've literally just been grinding for the last 2.5 years.
yeah. You grind for 2.5 years, and ideally, you do it in a way where you can chill for the next 20 and a half years. So
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Love it. All right. Everyone else I interview, I give them a little speed round. So I got 3 questions just
Ooh.
off the cusp.
Okay, I'll try to
It's
be
not that
fast
hard.
here.
Not that hard.
I'm ready.
Favorite Pokemon?
Favorite Pokemon? Oh God, Ampharos and Ice-Q. I gotta choose two.
Okay. Favorite Pokemon set?
VMAX Climax was fun.
All right. I got a box of that right sitting back there. I've never opened it though.
The rip and chips on it were the funnest I had on my Twitch days, so I had to choose that one.
All right. And last, we'll leave with this. Any piece of advice, whatever you want to say, to the Poke Office viewers, to Poke NE viewers.
Any piece of advice? Watch my channel. It's got everything. No,
Love it.
the piece of advice would be, if you're a Pokemon fan, keep doing what you're doing. You're having a great time in life. I assume if you know who I am, you're probably trying to start a Pokemon business. And so my piece of advice on the business side of thing would be don't don't wait for things. You have to actually pursue them. So there's so many people that they're waiting for a distributor to show up. You're not going to get one if you're just waiting because they're never going to open their doors, or they're waiting for a certain amount of capital to build up in their bank account. You don't need a lot of capital. Just start with one booster box, or uh they're waiting for some kind of validation to start a YouTube channel. They got some imposter syndrome vibes, whatever. Stop waiting for things because they're never going to happen unless you actually start doing them. Just start anything. Just start. Be sucky at it. Be crappy with it. It's going to pay off in the end.
You know, the beautiful thing about what you just said, I don't know if you've ever heard of Russell Brunson,
That name
CEO
sounds
of
familiar.
ClickFunnels. Have you ever heard of that?
That I'm sure it's been said in some like
Okay, fair enough.
internet video I watch.
He's he said something like legitimately just get started because your first 50 videos you got to find your voice. You got to find out how you like to talk, how you like to portray yourself, how you like to do your stuff. And literally no one's going to be watching you anyways. Who cares if you suck?
Yeah.
And then when you finally get there, whether it's your first 100 subscribers or your first million or who cares, how whenever you get there to the point where you're like comfortable in front of a camera or comfortable talking, people are going to watch you now, and then they're going to be like, ooh, he must have been good from the very start. They're going to go back and watch your old videos. Oh, Colin sucked. Like, but that's amazing because they see that transition of you
Yeah.
sucking into becoming who you are now, which is, you just got to get started. Like, that's the best advice ever.
Yeah, you make your own little character arc. People love it.
Yeah.
Fun. And it's fun to look back too. I love looking back at my like previous vlogs and my like business office tours. They're so fun because I'm like, God, I sucked. And now I'm better. And
Yeah.
this year I'm gonna say the same thing when I'm 35. I'll go, man, 30-year-old Brian sucked.
Right.
Hopefully. I mean, that's the plan at least.
Well, I mean, every day you just get a little bit better, and that's the way it goes. So,
Yeah, that's what you should be aiming. That's good advice right there.
yeah. Okay, Brian, I'm going to head to bed because it's getting late. Appreciate you
Fair.
coming on. I had a blast.
Yeah,
So,
I love these little interviews. They're so fun.
yeah. So, I mean, this is literally the first time we've met. I hope we can continue chatting because, yeah, it was awesome. So,
Yeah, let's do part two 1 year from now. We'll see where we're both at.
I love it. Okay, man. Everyone, go check out pokene.com. And now you're shipping to Canada. I'm going to be checking you out. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
go.
expensive, but I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, I have to order now once. So,
Get one thing. Yeah, get a booster pack.
yeah. Okay, man. Thank you again, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay. See ya.